I would like to apologize ahead of time for the audio quality. It is hot as balls in my office, and I am not sitting in here without air conditioning. So, hello, dear viewer. Last week, I made my first OC Animatic music video. So much lore. I had a lot of fun making it. Some would say too much fun. And I wanted to talk about how I did it. First, I'd like to clarify that I am in no way an expert on animatics, and this is the method that currently works for me and is bound to change as I learn. With that out of the way, let's get into it. I think the best place to start for any music video is to pick a song you actually like and don't mind listening to over and over and over again. If you don't like the audio you're choosing to animate over, you will lose the motivation. I chose Meet Me in the Woods by Lord Heron. Huron? Heron. Whatever. It has this whimsy corvidcore vibe that, despite never hearing it before, kicked me right in the nostalgia. The lyrics are so direct, yet can still be interpreted any way you like. I had listened to the song casually for at least a year before I actually worked up the creative chutzpah to do something about the music video that was living in my head. Start with a song you like and vibe with it. Let the vibes run the show. F it, we ball, and once the idea and vibes have eaten a hole in your brain, you're ready to officially start. I found the official lyrics and copy-pasted them onto a Doodle doc. I use Doodle because it's more readily accessible and it saves automatically. I was sure to mark where the music breaks are, because those need frames as well. Personally, I number code each line to represent a frame or scene if I want more movement. If you get stuck on the scripting phase, don't sweat it. Sometimes we have trouble putting our mental images into words. So even if the script is incomplete, sketching your thumbnails can actually help you find the words for your script. But remember, the script is a tool to help you organize your thoughts and plan the video. It doesn't have to be legible for everyone else to read. If it doesn't help you, don't bother. As practical as it would be to have set phases that you can complete before you move on, there's a lot of back and forth in the video making process. I was still scripting by the time I was editing the video with the frames I had drawn previously. To combat getting creative block, I put my thumbnails side by side so I can see them as a group and not just as separate illustrations with no cohesion. One major challenge I found is crafting a narrative with pictures is a lot harder than just having a music video in your head while listening to the song in the car. I know that sounds like a no-brainer, but I'm an ambitious artist. I thought I could just draw what I saw in my head, but I know the story. The outside viewer doesn't have the context that I do, and all I have to tell the story is lyrics and still images. Funnily enough, drawing all those separate frames that I so ambitiously scripted was the easy part. I did get a little carried away with the shading and gradients for an animatic, as in not a full animation, but I'm a character illustrator at heart. I can't help myself. In an attempt to expedite the process, when I finished a thumbnail for a frame, I would make it full size and save the sketch as a PNG so I could import the file into my editing software to get a jump start on it. The files automatically update when I save them. And in my hubris, I flew too close to the sun of video editing and melted my wax wings of confidence. You know, they say confidence and learning are bell curves. Once you start to learn something, you realize how much you don't know, and your confidence tanks until you learn more. The more you learn, the more confident you will be. So try not to give up if you're not immediately good at something. And the more I've learned about this program and how it works, the more confidently I can say, I fucking hate editing. I used to like it back in the days of Windows Live Movie Maker that came with every Windows 7 PC. Y'all remember this title screen? Oh, right in the nostalgia. I don't hate the program I use. It gets the job done, but for a program I had to pay $30 for, I shouldn't be getting this much attitude whenever I move a simple file. I know there are things like Blackmagic or DaVinci, but those programs are so damn big and too complex for little old me. So, how you go about piecing your animatic together varies from program or style, but basic movements can be achieved with using the pan and zoom functions and setting animation keyframes to each file. Pan and zoom move the camera, while the keyframes move the file across the camera. If you want multiple things to move in a single shot, be sure to save each asset as a separate file that can be layered on top of each other. This is why planning ahead is so important, so you can make the video you see in your head and not get easily overwhelmed. But always be open for changes and updates. While thumbing the chorus bit, I miscalculated on the timing and realized the frames were a little too janky and didn't flow well. So after literal hours of trial and error, I took a break. I found whenever I hit a wall on a project, stepping away and doing something simple, like washing the dishes or going for a walk, is the best thing you can do for yourself. And it worked. I got the scene figured out, wrapped up the editing, and actually cried with relief when it was over. And then immediately started planning for my next animatic project. And there you have it. How I made my first animatic for the internet. True story. I watched a few video tutorials about how to make animatics after I posted this one. I thought it would be funny to make a what went wrong session with myself, but it turns out making animatics is kind of simple. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. I've got so many ideas. What's stopping me? Oh, yeah, the unfortunate reality of using your favorite songs is the copyright claims. No matter how much credit you give, or how much you edit the audio, your video will get dinged and can't be monetized. Animatics and animation in general are passion projects, which I'm completely fine with. I knew what I was getting into when I started this project, and had a few fallback plans that fell flat, but I went on anyway. I'm not going to stop making these kinds of projects. You saw my old list of ideas, plus like 2 more that are haunting me. I just wanted to give a heads up to anyone who wants to try animatics, and so others can understand that you will get copyright claimed unless you use copyright-free music channels. But even those can get claimed by third parties, and you can't refute false copyright claims on YouTube. Fix this! You're honestly better off using YouTube's media library, where they have bangers like Broccoli on My Plate and Alien or Cake. Well, that's enough yapping out of me. I hope y'all learned something out of this. Even if you never plan to make animatics and just like watching them, now you know what goes into one. All of my sanity.